Did you get done what you wanted to in this environment?
Yeah, absolutely. I think first and foremost, like we've talked about, the weather and being able to just keep these guys out of the heat. We got to go battle it when we get back to Tempe. We'll be smart about that, obviously, but we are going to have to be out there at some point for obvious reason. But so that was first and foremost. And like I said, I mean, we took it one day at a time, one block at a time, I thought there was improvement, but still a long way to go.
Does it feel a little bit like the regular season in the sense of you just had a game last week, you come back, you have a few practices, a travel day, back to a game? Like, does it start to resemble that a little bit, or
not even close? And just in terms of one, you're naturally around the players more in training camp and that's the fun part about it. Like you're just you're in passing, lunch, dinner, stuff like that. But from just an absolute a game plan standpoint, we're not doing any of that. Like I haven't watched a snap of Vegas from last year. It's a new defensive coordinator. He was on the staff. Don't know if he's going to do the exact same or a complete opposite. Have no idea. So has no resemblance of a in-season schedule.
What were your main takeaways from camp? What are you most pleased with that your guys showed?
Yep, that they are where their feet are, that they come to work every single day, that they want to improve. Again, I thought our operation was good, got a long way to go. I thought our play style was good, got a long way to go. And then they also know that we have a long way to go once that ball snapped in terms of details, fundamentals, all those kind of things within our scheme. So, again, I was pleased with the work that we put in within that time, but a long way to go.
And you go into the first preseason game, how curious are you to see the state of tackling and since you can't really do it obviously in camp, and what did you think?
You're saying from the Hall of Fame? Yeah, it was like you just said. I mean, that's their first kind of go at it. I don't know off the top of my head all the the missed tackles or the good tackles and all that from a statistical standpoint, but I thought both sides for the most part tackled pretty well. But again, it's kind of that first crack at it. You don't want to over-evaluate that.
Walt had a wrap on his hand. What's he going on?
You're saying when yesterday or 2 days ago? He's good. He's good.
It's been 20 days since you guys reported. Jacoby's progress and picking up everything and your relationship with him, how's that all progressing?
Yeah, just progressing every day, just a little bit better. Like I've told you guys a few times. I mean, what you guys see in terms of team 1 through team 5 or 6 or however many teams we have each day, it's the third or fourth time he's said it that day. When you think about the actual walkthroughs, you think about the stage walkthrough, you think about the installs and all that. So naturally, there's more and more comfort. Like I told the guys, once you kind of get into this, here we are in the 12th practice, the 4th block, if you will. We're still doing jog throughs versus our defense, so they're seeing stuff. Don't get you want the defense to start to kind of recognize what's happening. They've gone against the same stuff over and over and over, and we have to find that fine line as coaches, particularly me and Hack, of giving our defense some different looks so they can't just tee off on us, but also just getting good at what we need to get good at, because we ultimately don't play the Arizona Cardinals defense on September 13th. So you're just kind of trying to stay inward, focus on ourselves, and continue to improve.
20 days since camp started, we haven't seen Josh Sweat. Well, I guess why is he not practicing yet? Well, what's going on there?
Still going through his process of making sure that Josh Sweat is where he needs to be and how he feels where he needs to be at his best. So progressing good. I know what Monty said to you. I know what kind of my message isn't any different. Like he's in a good spot right now, but we just need a little bit more time.
3-week ramp up just to get him ready.
Yeah, I mean, there's different parts of injuries and stuff like that and I shouldn't even call it injuries, but just getting himself right, to be ready to roll. So again, I like where he's at. I know everyone probably is not believing me on that one, but again, I only try to speak truth to you guys.
Your assessment of the offense on Sunday.
Decision to not be practicing?
What's that?
Is that fully his decision to not be practicing?
No, this is collective. This is obviously not all these guys, but a lot of these guys have obviously the information from within our building. Then they got people from outside the building, which I respect. Like I think that's good to have other people that are not affiliated with the Arizona Cardinals. That are going to give you their opinion, and because it is just an opinion sometimes, and then you as the player and as the organization, you weigh all those, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
What's your assessment of the offense collectively from Sunday?
That was 2 days ago, our last practice. I'm focused on this one. Again, I go back to, process over results. What I look for, because I know where you're insinuating, there was more incompletions than I'd probably say we've had all of camp. And what was that? Well, was the process off? Well, I thought we operated pretty well. I thought we got to the line of scrimmage. I didn't think we looked discombobulated. We missed some shots down the field. That happens at times. Obviously we need to hit more than we don't, but we didn't on that day. That's okay. Were the reads right? Were the receiver splits right? Was the timing right? Was the protection right? Where we busted, that wasn't happening. We just weren't hitting our shots. It's like I told the guys, Steph Curry doesn't go 10 for 10 every single day. Scotty Scheffler doesn't win every single tournament. He wants a birdie every single time he goes out there. He doesn't always get that, and sometimes the putter is a little bit off. So, we were a little off from that standpoint. But again, from a process over results standpoint, I wouldn't say necessarily pleased, but I wasn't not pleased, if that makes sense.
After that practice, Jacoby and Marv went out and they just were working on the deep ball, basically. Yep. What does that show you about Brissett and kind of what his approach is?
Yeah, doing what he needs to do, being a pro, being a quarterback, being a leader. Not the first quarterback I've been around to see post-practice trying to, get whatever he needs to get right with the player.
What stood out about his leadership style as a quarterback since he's been back, and how guys have responded to him?
Yeah, what I've learned about him is he really loves this game. It's well, no kidding, right? He's a quarterback. He's been in this league this long, but he has a genuine love for the game of football, for practice, for his teammates. It's not just when the ones are out there. He's extremely supportive of whatever quarterback's out there. All you have to do is sometimes watch when a quarterback hands the ball off and you get a little bit of a gash in the run game, or you can kind of almost see it happening, and watch their reaction back there. They're almost more excited for that than they are maybe to complete that deep ball. And that's what you see out of him. It's pretty neat. Again, he's got the front row seat to seeing some of those lanes and the excitement he has watching offensive linemen get some removal in the run game, seeing receivers get connected in the second and third levels, and then those backs hitting it. I think our run game's only gotten better as we've gone, and it's not easy running against this defense for obvious reasons. It's been a joy to watch him enjoy being out there, because it doesn't have to be miserable, obviously.
Carson looked like he had a pretty good end to red and white. Just what do you think about how he ended things and with that no-look touchdown to Virgil?
Yeah, if you're going to throw the no-look, you better make it happen, right? But in all honesty, though, that's where the ball needed to go. He threw the no-look. He saw the low hole player really cheating off of his eyes off to number one. The shallow cross was number one. He saw the linebacker going that way and, put a little bit of touch on there. It's did he need to do it? Well, maybe he didn't. He did it, and he completed it, and, it was obviously a good finish right there.
Marv obviously started camp with...
Wish we would have been in the right formation for the two-point conversion that we did not connect and lost the game 17-16. Sorry.
Inside the mind of a coach. Marv started camp with a couple of those drops that we talked about in here, but then seemed to bounce back. I guess, how do you assess his camp overall?
Steady improvement. Again, it's you could go very elementary, and it's catch the football, never drop a ball. Well, if you drop enough balls in this league, I don't care who you are, you're just not going to be in the league. So it's no kidding, put that away. Okay, why'd you drop it? Was it focus? What exactly was it? All right, then you put that away, and then you really look at the process of everything. Are we creating separation? Are we coming off the ball? Are we in our right split? Are we loaded? Getting every inch of grass off of off the ball. That's one of the big things that Marv and I talk about every day. I just kind of give him one of these, and what does that mean? Body lean, come off the rock. Because once he gets going, he's a big dude, right? And if I'm a DB standing there knowing I got a big dude that could run by me or can stop on a dime, that's tough. If we're upright out of our stance, well, you've already lost yardage right there. So everything for all receivers, but particularly Marv, is that ball get off. And then you look at obviously the top of the routes, whether it's in breaks, out breaks, stop routes, whatever it might have you, are we separating? And you got to take in consideration who he's going against and all those kind of things. There's so many factors and all that. So that's the stuff I'm looking at the most. What's the process look like within the routes and all that? Yes, he had a drop, back in whatever it was, practice 5, where he was wide open. Hasn't had one of those since. Great. Is he going to have probably another one at some point over his career? Yes, he is, just like all these guys are. And then I'll flip it to the other side. What does it look like when he doesn't have the ball? What does it look like when he's getting connected? And I say I mean all these guys. Like, if you don't block, if you don't get sticky on DBs in this offense, you're just not going to be out there, like point blank period. And I've been pleased with his progression and the receivers' progression in that facet of what we're trying to get done in the run game.
Any update on who's playing on Thursday?
Yeah. No, they're all they're going to play. So we'll have our guys out there. How much? It's not going to be much. Could be one drive, max of two, for those main guys. But they'll be playing, and they know that. So
That includes Jacoby.
that includes Jacoby. Yep.
In what ways can Trey McBride further even elevate his game, even though it's pretty high right now?
Yeah.
Will his role change at all? More blocking, maybe less targets to do something else?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's a great question because you're talking about a guy that's put some pretty cool tape out already in his play style and all those kind of things. But there are little margins, in terms of what he can do. One, it's like, okay, here was your route tree since you've been here. Like, what can we expand off? And I'm not even going to get into details of some of those little things, but there are some little things. It's like, man, I think he can do some of this stuff. I think he can have sometimes even a deeper intermediate route tree because he does have the speed and the body lean and all those kind of things and the savvy to get there, point A to point B within the timing of plays before a D-line gets home. So there's some schematic stuff that we can do with him. And then, I think he's just gotten better with some of his transitions, albeit he hasn't gotten tackled. We had a nice little team or unit meeting about drop steps, a week or two ago, and I thought his could have been better. And then lo and behold, in the 2-minute the other day, I thought it was perfect. And so just those little margins that are all over, and it's not just Trey, it's all these guys, but the great ones, they want to find a way to even get to that next step. And in the run game, I think he's always battled. He's not a massive man. But he loves it. He's smart. He knows angles, and he loves it right here. And he's physical, so he is an asset in the run game. So, but we gotta be smart with that. It's not like we're gonna, say this is not a competitive advantage. I don't think I'm gonna have him one-on-one with Myles Garrett in week whatever that is, right? Or even Khalil. And I think the Chargers know that too. That'd just be dumb. But if we did, I know he'd battle his butt off because that's just how he's made. So long-winded right there, but love that guy. Love working with him, and all he wants to do is continue to improve.
Speaking of Myles Garrett, what are your thoughts on Aaron Donald most likely coming back and joining the
Yeah, I love Aaron. Was with him for 1 year. Again, it's so inward on how we look at things. Like I don't really care. I don't really know when we play the Rams, but great, awesome. Go there, sweet.
Crawford's a guy that's gotten a lot of praise during camp from his teammates or from the coaching staff. One, what have you seen from him? And then two, where can he fit in onto this picture on defense?
Yeah, he is the epitome of play style. He loves ball, and he has, how you just have some of those guys that you can look in their eyes and you're like, man, he's got bad intentions in a good way, because you got to have bad intentions when you head out on the football field. It's violent, and if you don't, someone probably that you're going against does. So he is made of all the right stuff. He just wants to do whatever is best for the football team, whether that's on special teams or obviously on defense. I think he's carving himself out even more of a role on defense as he's gotten more and more comfortable in this. What a awesome deal for a young safety to be in a room with Budda Baker every single day, right? And just learn from someone like him. So couldn't be more pleased with him. Really think the player is ascending. Really think the player can be special. I think the person is even better.
Approach the next 3 weeks as an extension of camp, or is it kind of like a hard end, we're starting fresh?
Extension.
You've been through a lot of NFL training. We'll make this the last one. You've been through a lot of NFL training camps. You've seen good and great teams. Is there any common denominator of what those teams do during your training camp, and do you feel like you did that?
Yeah, they compete, and they compete the right way. It's like you got to be able to toe the line even with your brothers, and it's got to be physical. But it can't be reckless, and then you got to take care of each other. So that's an ongoing process with every group I've ever been on. Even some of the best ones. Like it's a process. You have to restart it every single time you put the pads on. In July, leading up into that first week, because once we get really to that first week of we play September 13th, so we'll have a bonus Monday on September 7th. That's the first time we're really going to have scout teams. Like I'm not big into the week before and doing kind of like, we'll have somewhat of a mock week in terms of times, but I still want to go good versus good. Like it's still practice. We're still going, and who knows what the Chargers are going to do. It's week 1. It's a new coordinator. Maybe he's doing Jesse stuff, but maybe he's not doing anything that Jesse did. Like, I don't know. We'll see some stuff in preseason, but preseason can fool you, So, but that's the biggest thing. Just go out there, compete against your brothers, toe the line, play with that play style, and go for it.